right, and we're back. Thanks for staying with us, T2 and Elamite at the Xfinity desk as we get ready for our very first series of the night. If you don't already know it, it's going to be Optic Gaming this way versus Team Allegiance over there. It's sure to be a nice little pleaser. Now it's going to be a little bit of a change of pace here. We saw Rami win the free-for-all. Now Rami's going to go from the free-for-all to substitute for Falcated for at least a game. Well, Falcated's able to kind of work out some of his issues, so it is going to be a last-minute substitution. Obviously, these guys have not practiced, but Rami, no stranger to substituting for Allegiance.
Yeah, if you want to win, just plug Rami in. That's the way the HCS works. And the thing is he just came off winning the free-for-all, so he's obviously warmed up.
He's undefeated today, probably.
Yeah, he's undefeated today. He's playing pretty good. He's subbed for this Optic Gaming squad in the past, and he, should be able to.
Yeah, so he's subbed for both of these teams right now.
He did. So it's interesting to see that happen, but I'm not sure if it's going to be throughout the entire series or if it will be one game. Again, electronics, man. Never know.
Yeah, so we definitely wish Falcated the best as he's getting everything taken care of on his end. And that's a big loss to Allegiance because Falcated is a really good player, extremely sick shot. Rami, he's going to have some big shoes to fill.
Rami's playstyle, though, fits this Allegiance team, actually, in my opinion, because he has, Contra and Devin around him who are really good at laying down some sick shots and staying alive, as long as they're not overextending or challenging. And then you have Straight Sick, who is no slouch with his shot at all. He's got a fantastic shot and really good communication. And then you have Rami, who has an amazing shot as well. So again, that's one of the things that it's not like Rami, does he shoot better than Falcated? I don't know, probably pretty equal in terms of that, but just his play style. Rami loves to stay alive and likes to evaluate his options and calculate things. I think that he's going to bring another type of pace to this Allegiance team. May throw Optic Gaming off to start.
Yeah, and we're looking at a back-to-back plazas, and anybody who remembers summer season, Rami is amazing on plaza, especially if he gets that shotgun in his hands. Some of the games he won, I think even in his series against Evil Geniuses, whereas when he picked up a shotgun and picked up like 9 kills with it or something ridiculous.
Yeah, he's definitely someone that you want to focus on getting the weapons out of his hands. Don't let him get the camouflage and run around. Try to call him out as much as possible and just focus him down, make him feel uncomfortable playing as much as possible. It's hard to do when you're playing against a guy, again, that just won the free-for-all, so he's obviously playing pretty good. But here we go. Rami starting off with him. He's in the flowers, laying down some shots. Will he be able to draw first blood is the question. First Stronghold blood goes on over to Optic Gaming as Lethal takes that one. 2 kills, though, going over to Allegiance. Can Contra stay alive? We were just giving him props on how he does stay alive for quite a long time, but Frosty shuts that down. They are contesting over here in bottom mid and get the reset. So is Optic Gaming going to capture Yard? Are they going to capture Nest? Looks like they're going for the Yard right now. Contra was going to contest that from the flowers, but backs off. And there goes the Nest push coming in from the side of Allegiance. So poor man setup coming in here for Optic Gaming, but you can definitely hold this for a while.
Yeah, Royal 2 hiding here top center. Gets into that 1v1. Predaminator gives him the quick, perfect. 2 more players. Good reaction to those call-outs there. They're trying to contest bottom mid. There was one good thing for Allegiance that we just saw, and that was, although bottom mid went over into the hands of Optic Gaming, Nest and Yard had not actually gone over yet, so they did not start accumulating time till just a little bit ago, around that 11-minute and 20-second mark.
Yeah, and here goes Contra, stuck over here in the dip. And that's going to be 3 dead there for Allegiance. So Optic Gaming coming out here hot, putting the punishment on Allegiance with Rami sub here. And there goes Straight Sick. He's going to drop with ease to Royal 2. Had no idea that he was coming around towards that lift area. And they're capturing Yard right now. And it should go on over to stop the bleeding. Probably could rack up maybe 1 point here if you do have Lethal that doesn't capture the Nest. So there it is. That's going to be 2 points captured there, but that's going to end quickly as you have Optic Gaming pushing in towards this triple cap.
Yeah, Tom, you're way off. They did not get one. They got 2 points there off that Stronghold capture. 3 members trying to contest over here at Yard. You had Royal 2 commit to a fight there. Wow, a lot of people being taken out here in this situation. Taking a quick look at the stats. Ooh, we'll wait till there's action has cover finished here between Lethal and Predaminator as he's sitting over here on the light rifle. Doing a great job dodging some grenades, but that plasma that he threw just a little bit ago is going to explode and finish off Lethal. Now you can see in that kill feed, we got Frosty who's got a shotgun over here who gets taken out. Straight Sick grabs 2 kills over in Yard, keeps that in favor of Allegiance as his teammates are trying to capture bottom mid, but Predaminator was down there by himself.
He does get the, oh, he doesn't get the kill on the camo guy. That's so unfortunate for Straight-Sick. He dropped down thinking that his teammate was still going to be alive as Snakebite runs into his own splinter grenade. But it looked like Straight-Sick wanted to drop down there with the shotgun and help contest bottom middle so that they could capture that one. And then he wanted to kill the camo guy, but fell short both times. As you see Lethal pick up a kill with that shotgun. And this has been that bottom middle yard hold for Optic Gaming. The poor man setup is looking pretty rich for them so far. I mean, 42 points and counting. They're just leaving it over there, controlling this yard area, controlling bottom mid, and trapping players over towards that nest, which isn't pretty typical.
Ooh, and a lot of action happening here bottom center. Frosty trying to do what he can. Does grab one kill. Snakebite's going to jump in here from dip. Does pick up one for himself as well. You know, so talking about a moment ago, Snakebite had that splinter grenade on the shotgun player to take him out while he was no shields with camo. This is an amazing play by Snakebite. Oh my, look at this shots. The fact that he just lived in this position is just adding insult to injury here for Team Allegiance, as they cannot get anything going against this Optic squad.
Optic Gaming not letting up. They don't care right now what Allegiance's rank is. They're playing them if they're playing against Envious. Triple cap, adding pressure over here towards the yard, not even letting Allegiance breathe. So here comes the reset, and so many points racking up so quickly. Where do you go right now? On the side of Allegiance, you want to try to push into the yard, but you have Snakebite in really good position with the shotgun. You try to go over towards Nest, and then you have TJ Lethal over there, S4. And look at even Frosty working over here in the yard. So perfect teamwork coming in for the Optic Gaming. They're spread out very similar to how we saw E6 yesterday.
How often do you see a player being able to just hide in shotgun because his teammates are laying down that much cover fire and being that much of distractions to where you can be completely taken out of a battle and just try to force Allegiance's hand to go over and control yards? That was a great job by not only Snakebite, but everyone on Optic Gaming, recognizing the position that they're in, and then using a setup, having Snakebite over there in the shotgun spawn that most teams aren't able to do for a variety of different reasons, whether or not Snakebite being taken out of a battle or his teammates just not being able to cover or give enough supporting fire to hold Allegiance off.
Nice job finally getting bottom middle there, but it's 93 points to 3. So much work cut out for Allegiance in order to come back into this one. Gonna have to play it perfect, and while they were able to get bottom middle, it wasn't very clean at the same time. They did cough up a couple of resources, dying in order to get that one. So here goes Royal 2 taking yard, trying to rotate down towards bottom middle. You do have a battle going on over towards Nest, which I think Straight-Sick did win that and get the reset. So this is big. And then you have another contest coming in for 2 players of Allegiance. So they did stop the initial push for Optic Gaming, but that's one push. You probably have about 10 more to go if you're Optic.
Yeah, and you do have the Optic squad retaking Nest as they start to accumulate some more points. They got 2 people in there, 99 seconds. They got to get in, but there's going to be a contest, and it's not going to be in time. And a 100-10 victory. Let's go ahead and take a look at these stats here. Not a lot of stronghold captures from either team, and that's because Optic Gaming was able to have that on lockdown the majority of the time.
Such a fast game, and Ramy's thinking, wow, 4v4 against Optic, so much tougher than free-for-all right now. And it's true, if you put Ramy or any of these guys on Allegiance in a free-for-all with the Optic Gaming team, I wouldn't doubt if they would, you know, pull first or second place, you know, on any given free-for-all. But when it comes to 4v4, when it comes to coordination, teamwork, communication, everything that comes into making Optic Gaming such a great team, Allegiance, they're just so far behind right now in terms of just overall, you know, skill as well as a team. Because Optic Gaming, one of the things that I love watching them play is, I touched base on it a little bit before, they're going up against an Allegiance squad where it's very easy to look at their record and say, okay, these guys are what, 2-9? Let's underestimate them a little bit, or let's just play, you know, our normal game. These guys came out and they played their A game right there, or at least brought their B+ game, and ended up winning 100-10.
Yeah, I mean, and that was a really dominating performance coming out of this Optic squad. I know, you know, Ramy probably also thinking like, oh man, why couldn't, you know, Royal 2 not be feeling well here today again? I get on that Optic sub, but either way, Ramy is still here in the game. We'll find out what's going on with Falcated here in just a little bit. He's able to get his issues worked out now that, even though Ramy is a great player, it will affect Team Allegiance. You can't just go from a practice schedule and a player as good as Falcated with a sub. It just doesn't make sense.
I mean, you're going up against Optic Gaming, who has, what, I mean, 9-10 months of preparation in terms of what their beginning strategies are going to be, what their setups are going to be, what their retake strategies are going to be, how they want to play specific game types, completely comfortable with one another. And then you have you know, Rami getting implemented in, and it's like, well, Rami, what do you like to do in the beginning of Plaza Slayer? Well, I like to go, you know, into Flowers. Well, I like to go into Flowers too. Well, what are we gonna do? I guess we're gonna do something different. So it's just tough, and you got to feel for these guys. But again, Rami is a very solid player, so we'll see if he can bounce back here. Slayer is gonna do a lot more justice for them than Strongholds, because we were talking about the amount of coordination that Strongholds takes.
Oh, and you do have, I think that was Contra top center, able to grab the power up. So he's going to be making some moves around as Royal 2 is sneaking up here towards stairs, starts getting those shots on Contra. He's trying his best to run away, doing a great job of avoiding everyone. And this is Plaza Strongholds that we're looking at again.
Interesting.
Was this the way it started off last game as well?
Pretty interesting.
I think it reloaded the first game, so give us just a moment here while we get this taken a look at.
Oh, this is pretty funny. Sorry, guys. Get a good little LOL in the chat room. Little spam. Point the fingers at us if you want. It's not, you know, it's not our fault.
Hey, well, we did have Optic win the first game. Very dominating fashion there. Royal 2 obviously had a pretty good start on that game.
Yeah.
Busting out some perfects there, chasing Contra down.
He did. I was feeling, again, like a little bit of deja vu. I think that's the second time this has happened to us. But, yeah, Plaza Slayer, it's going to be pretty difficult, you know, for Allegiance unless they get the overshield. They're going to have to immediately focus on getting the sniper rifle in someone's hands, preferably, you know, Straight Sick, Contra, or Devin. Rami's very good with the sniper too, don't get me wrong, but those guys take it to another level in terms of the angles that they're taking, and they're so calm. When you watch Contra and Devin play, one of the things that fascinates me is they'll line up a shot for, like, it seems like an eternity. I feel like time slows down. They're just waiting to line up the headshot, and then they just shoot it, then they thrust out when there are no shields. So that's one of the things that they're going to have to get. They're going to have to control nest, spread out, cover each other's angles, which is tough to do when you have a sub, because you haven't, again, talked about your whole strategy, where you're going to set up. Are you going to have a guy in posters? Are you going to put a guy top gold? Do you guys like to charge and get aggressive and kind of rotate the spawns? So much to talk about as a team in so little time when you're coming in with a sub.
All right, now we do have the players set up in game, so let's go ahead and jump right back into it. We are taking a look now from Contra, and this is going to be Plaza Slayer. Of course, 50 kills to win, and immediately a little bit of a different opening strategy. Contra already over here towards Nest and securing a kill there on Snakebite. Frosty too clutch, though.
Frosty, nasty shots onto Contra there. It looked like Contra was going to win that fight.
Contra had great shots, too. It was just Frosty going too clutch.
Yeah, perfect with the pistol on a battle rifle player. And what was really nice about that was Frosty's map movement. He was able to crouch and strafe, but still maintain pretty calm shots at the same time, which is very difficult to do, especially when you're playing against another player like Contra, who isn't even missing from his point of view. So really good job by him, and that would have been a 4-to-1 lead, Kyle, with sniper rifle in their hands. So that kill a lot bigger than it seems. It's not just one, it's a whole, you know, butterfly effect of kills.
Yeah, and Straight Sick just immediately rushing over towards gold, it looked like. Well, Letho was able to escape with the sniper rifle. Catching him, just not looking at him whatsoever, so maybe a little bit of a misplay there by Straight Sick, not recognizing and being aware of where everyone on the map is. But either way, Lethal doing a great job rotating here with this sniper rifle. He's got some help from his teammates in Yard. That is why he's bringing this over here. As you can see in these player outlines, it is Allegiance collapsing now on that Yard location.
It is, and this isn't that bad for Allegiance. Already a 2-kill lead, such a different start from them in the Strongholds game. Now that gives you a little bit of confidence, gives you some momentum. You start to communicate a little bit better. And now we're going to see what Straight Sick's able to do. He's not able to get into the Yard with Contra, but here comes Devin in with the support. Now Devin realizing he has to back off just a little bit, or he should realize he needs to back off, as you do have 3 players from Optic coming in from that Yard. This is a really great opportunity for Allegiance just to go over to S4. They shouldn't pursue this and constantly challenge. We do have the luxury of having these player outlines so we can see how many players are over there, but this is what Devin has to do. He needs to rotate, get a height advantage, and then try to pick off some kills. Contra's way too out of position right now, even though he gets a kill. That's 2 kills there for Allegiance, but now the spawns are going to be a little bit swapped for Optic Gaming. So unless you rotate and get on top of these spawns, Optic Gaming is going to take that trade. Yeah,
as you can see, everyone here from Optic Gaming is now on the other side of the map as opposed to being at Yard. Now we do have the new power-up getting ready to spawn. As you can see, PJ or Snakebite is chilling around top center, getting ready to set up for this one. Royal 2 collapsing on Straight Sick, but misses a quick melee. Will follow up the kill there Now, as you can see in that kill feed, looks like it was Rami that had the sniper. Oh, I thought we were about to see a ninja there for a moment as Lethal was going for it. Either way, 21-16 lead. Allegiance showing some life here against this Optic Gaming powerhouse roster.
It's because this game type plays so much differently. You don't get punished like you would in Strongholds, and it doesn't, you know, take everybody being on the same page nearly as much as it does in Strongholds. So an advantage over, not necessarily a big advantage over the Allegiance, 4-kill lead, still definitely doable for Optic Gaming. We've seen crazier comebacks by them, and obviously based on what we saw in the first game, 100-10, they know how to play Plaza, even though it is a different game type here. So expect them to try to collapse on Rami any second here. Rami has to get out immediately, and that's exactly what he does. Yeah,
really good heads-up play by Rami, recognizing he was not in a good spot. Easily collapsed on, also easily naded. But he does have a couple shots left here in this weapon as he backs up, picks up a great stick on Snakebite. He's chilling over in those posters area. That's going to give Rami a good opportunity to push top center and help his teammates start securing some more map control here, even catching Snakebite off spawn once again with that barrel, still maintaining a 5-kill lead now.
Can Rami get the win here with the Allegiance team and provide the upset on Optic Gaming? Looks like right now, based on the positioning and the score, that they can. Rami even staying alive throughout all this and picking up a Splinter Nade. I would love to see him chuck that over towards that loop area instead electing to toss it over into the glass. That's going to do just as good. And look at that, charging into the yard. This is where Rami likes to live.
Yeah, Rami loves the yard here. He will be taken out by Snakebite. Snakebite's not gonna be a player that's gonna miss many shots. And what I didn't realize, the sniper was down over here in yard. Now Lethal's gonna find that back in his hands and not wasting any time as he immediately takes out Predevinator. Now Rami doing a great job trying to keep Contra alive, who is down in poster stairs. Now Lethal doing a good job on that rotation. That new overshield is in fact up, but an 8-kill lead here from Allegiance. Really impressive considering just how much they were just shut down here in that game number 1.
For sure, and again, I've said it a handful of times and I'll continue to say it. Beginning strategies in Halo 5 really set the tone of the game. You can build on a lead very quickly. There's a early game, mid game, and late game here, and now we're kind of into that mid to late game. And because of the fact that they didn't go down to this Optic Gaming squad, because it was a 4-4 game, even when it was 3-1, they've felt like they can hang in it, and it gave them the confidence to play at this high level that they can play. So it's great to see Allegiance really putting it together here against the Optic Gaming squad, who we were just saying they're still playing their B+ game.
Yeah, I mean, kind of looking like Allegiance just destroyed in that game number 1. Maybe they're throwing the game. They just want to make sure this goes to another game number 5. Keep that that in the repeat and keep that happening.
If this can be, a win here for Allegiance, they're going to, again, have another Strongholds game type coming up, which is Strongholds Empire. So this series could eventually go to Game 5. There's no reason that it couldn't. Maybe it'd be a back-to-back fourth series, like back-to-back series like we've seen, back and forth series that we've seen a handful of times here in the HCS. And I feel bad for saying that, how one-sided this series was going to be after seeing this game. And I got to say, I'm very impressed with this team. The Allegiance team has what it takes. They have the shots. So if they can put it together here, maybe we may see the biggest upset of the HCS so far.
And then Frosty coming over here towards Snipe Tower, has the sniper in his hands, grabs 2 kills in 2 separate 1v1s. Luckily, Concha's going to be able to finish off the kill there. Frosty, just so ridiculous. I was going to switch to his screen, but I thought, no way, he's actually going to do this. And he proves me wrong and does it anyway.
Never seen Optic Gaming in a Slayer Plaza game so on the ropes, especially against a team that's sitting in last place right now on the verge of relegation. So as you just saw in the stats, Contra right now the main kill getter for the side of Allegiance, and you see Optic Gaming slowing this down big time. They picked up the overshield, but Contra comes in with the stick. There goes any possible comeback for Optic Gaming. Allegiance, they're going to be winning this game to tie the series up 1-1.
And wow, that was one of the best sticks you could possibly hope for in competitive play. That player was going to have the overshield, already had the sniper, and pretty much that was the only way of taking him out. The sticky came just early enough to where the overshield had not charged yet, and he was able to secure the kill. And then, of course, looking at these stats here, Contra having a great game, sitting at 15 and 8, Straight Sig 13 and 10. On the other hand, no one from Optic Gaming going positive. Snakebite going even. Only.
So rare. I haven't seen a game where Optic Gaming has gone all negative, and it comes at the hands of Allegiance on a Plaza Team Slayer. So moving into game number 3, it's going to be CTF Truth. Kyle, now what are your predictions here for the rest of the series after seeing that game?
Pledging allegiance to Rami here, Tom, as he may be the X factor for this squad. He's just done so well here on this Allegiance roster, ironically enough. Every time he's subbed for this team, I'm pretty sure they won every time he subbed in the summer season.
Yeah.
And I know he won obviously with Optic when he was subbing, but now Allegiance coming out and dominating Optic Gaming in that game number 2, 50-35. That's one of the larger margins of victory that we've seen over Optic.
Another opportunity for Allegiance and this Rami and Rami to show what he's made of and show his stuff. This could be, you know, if you're Falcade, you gotta be a little bit worried here because you're over there trying to, you know, build an Xbox or whatever you're trying to do, you know, maybe go to your friend's house because your internet's out. I'm not sure what's going on with him, but he's trying to get, you know, online because Rami, he's coming for your spot, man. If you beat Optic Gaming with Rami, you're gonna be like, oh man, maybe we should consider a team change.
Yeah, I mean, we might see Rami on like Envious or something like that in the future. But either way, we got the players set up in our game number 3. This series all tied up 1-1 here. This was going to be, as Tom and I said, the only series today that we predicted to be one-sided, and now it's starting to turn around and look one-sided in Allegiance's favor.
Yeah, so let's see Lethal going and getting that first strike. That's going to be 3 dead for Allegiance. Beginning strategies going into the favor of Optic Gaming this time. And let's see if they're able to punish just like they did in the first game, which was Strongholds on Plaza. So there goes Lethal pushing into the base, putting down tons of damage. So much damage that it blanks the screen for the enemy team, and then he magically picks up a double kill.
Yeah, Lethal just said, hey, I'm just going to kill both these guys. I don't even need to be looking at them. I'm just going to win a 1v2 situation. In fact, comes out ahead in that situation. Frosty now grabbing some kills. You got him with the sword, but he's going to get taken out by Contra, who will stay on that death cam for a moment. Now it's Royal 2 with the fuel rod. Now we got Snakebite, I believe, with Camo's sword here now. This is still going to be a scary moment as they've got the base on lockdown. Snakebite's going to get taken out with that sword, so no need to worry about him anymore. But Royal 2 is running around your base with the fuel rod.
Yeah, so here it is. Straysick going to pick up that fuel rod. Can't go up the lift quite yet because you do have a splinter grenade, and you also have a croucher over there underneath the base. This is going to be players running the flag as Straysick trying to play some defense. Now he does have 4 shots in that fuel rod. Wasted one onto Lethal. Lethal battling 2 players at once. Is that going to be enough distraction to put this flag in? I think it is. 1-0 for Optic Gaming.
Yeah, and that was just a little bit of a late push by Straysick. That flag was being rotated out. He needed to get some more of those fuel rod shots off. You can't just let those players escape pink side. And it was also a great job by Optic Gaming relaying that flag. Kind of caught Straysick off guard, not expecting that flag to be moving so quickly, I think.
Love to see when players end up sacrificing their life to fight multiple players so you can secure the cap, and that's exactly what Lethal did. So while it may seem to other players that he was over challenging or in a pretty poor position in terms of not being all the way into pink 2, all he was doing was timing in his head how long it would take for him to fight those players in order for them to secure that capture. So now everyone going to be posturing over towards the pink side of the map because the camouflage is going to be dropping here in the next 10 seconds. So Contra going to try to distract underneath the Optic Gaming base and wait for the players to charge out towards pink side. And as they do, that's when he's going to lay down the cover fire. Going in with a melee. Is he going to get the kill onto Snakebite? He does. So there goes the flank onto Royal 2. Needs to leave him and just go straight for the flag there. Ends up getting the triple kill, but it's going to be too late because the spawns are going to be staggered. So Lethal coming in here, laying down some grenades. And if Contra dies, he should have probably still pushed in towards the flag just a little bit earlier.
I would have gone for the flag after that double kill. You're the only one in position. You need to immediately react on any kind of position advantages that you find for your team. And that player top center, he was going to die either way. You had a great numbers advantage, and he was not in a position where he could even hide. You could have immediately got into the flag and tried to concentrate on the spawners. Although he did get that triple in the kill, it's just not going to do anything for the team.
Here's a possible opportunity, though, for Allegiance as they are running this flag pink 1. So there goes Contra. It's up to Royal 2 to get the perfect shots, and he does get the perfect shots. However, is sorted in the back, so Frosty goes in with the touch, pulls this one underneath the base of Allegiance. So Optic Gaming going to be spawning underneath the car side. I would like to see Devin get in a better position, though. We did see him over towards the pink street. He needs to get over maybe towards top center or something like that, or at least come back to the base and help with the return, because if this cap doesn't go in, for Optic Gaming, you're not going to, or for Allegiance, you're not going to stand a chance in the series, and it did go in. So good thing for Allegiance and their fans is this series and game all tied up 1-1.
And Frosty just not backing down, recognizing the situations that he's in, knowing that the player shooting at him is no shields, and fully confident that he's going to hit the headshot before he's taken out. Frosty just being that ridiculous player that we talk about all the time. Royal 2, however, puts down some perfect shots on Straightsick, who had the sword trying to escape there. Either way, Optic Gaming now allowing this series to be tied up again here. All 4 members of Allegiance are alive. They're pushing out, trying to get control of this pink side of the tower. PJ or Snakebite is bottom center. Rami is going to get taken out. Lethal grabs a kill, so numbers advantage now back in favor of Optic Gaming. What kind of defense is Allegiance going to be able to put up here, though?
They spawned underneath the base, which is in a very favorable spawn at all, so that player is going to be stuck under there. It looks like that's Contra. So here comes the decent spawns, which are in the bubble right now for Allegiance as they charge on over to try to get a pull. It looks like 2 players made their way on over to the base, while Frosty is fighting another 2 players. So he's pinched over here in the bubble. If they can communicate and get this kill on Frosty, which they do, that's going to be very big. But another thing that's big is Royal 2 with this camo. So is he going to go for the touch? Ends up contesting this one. They do get the return for both teams. So I would say that's good for Allegiance, because I felt like Optic Gaming had the advantage there.
Oh, they definitely had the advantage. I don't know if they had... Yeah, they did have Fuel Rod, too. They had Fuel Rod, Camo, and Allegiance's flag in their own base. Numbers advantages was a little bit back and forth, but essentially almost even in that situation. Now, Allegiance had no chance of running a counter cap, but they did, in fact, get the return, doubling up on the flag there. So that I would count that as a win for them as well.
Unfortunately for Allegiance, they only have 1 player alive, and it looks like Optic Gaming is completely aware of where the spawns are. So Lethal going to call that one out. This is the same exact scenario that Optic Gaming was in before. The only thing that's a little bit different is now you actually have PJ Snakebite that's sitting, waiting for the players to charge in towards the car side. You can see he's just crouching, waiting for them to come in there. And there they are. They do get the touch, however, and they get a flag kill. So maybe Snakebite baiting a little bit too hard. Now it's a 2-on-2 situation. A splinter grenade comes in. They're slow playing this one, looking for the triple kill onto Rami. Is he going to be able to find it? There it is. Nice job by Royal 2. There goes the return. There goes the cap for Optic Gaming. They're up 2-1.
Yeah, I mean, Allegiance did what they could to try to get that return. Royal 2 going too clutch with the BR, grabs 2 kills. I thought he had to pick up the flag to have enough ammo to kill him. I think he might have been able to get a perfect shot off if he had to, but either way, still securing the triple kill with the flagnum there and helping Optic now take this 2-1 lead here as we're already halfway past this game.
We are, so let's see if Royal 2 can put in some work with the battle rifle. Only a couple shots in it, so I want to see if he's going to go up here and drop his battle rifle for the fuel rod, but instead ends up going for the Hydra instead. And look at this weird little combo, Hydra and plasma, or and storm rifle, excuse me. So interesting little combo here. I don't think I've ever seen this one in Halo 5, and it gets shot down. So yeah, not the strongest combo.
Yeah,
in the
there's
world,
a reason
Royal
you
2.
don't see it too often, Tom, and yeah, Royal 2 not able to capitalize on that. Of course, he did not know the player was going to have sword. I would take the sword in those up-close 1v1 battles, but this game's still far from over as we start still showing Allegiance with some life here. Lots of action happening on the side of the base as Optic Gaming is pushing back out, but they essentially just sacrifice P control as Predeminator pushed all the way up without any kind of reinforcements from behind.
5 minutes left in this game. Got to keep your eye on the game clock if you are Allegiance. You've only gotten 1 cap in about that amount of time, so you're going to need another one if you're going to try to push this one into overtime. But they haven't been able to get much control of P2 in top center, and that's been kind of going on over to Optic Gaming. So you need to get the fuel rod right now. Maybe, you know, bring in the free-for-all god Rami. He just did win Truth not too long ago, so maybe they need to bring him in there, but looks like this last flag is close to going in for Optic Gaming.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of action. Frosty going clutch once again, securing a double kill, moving that flag halfway across the map. Royal 2 grabs another kill. Nobody in position to get a pull, and assuming Royal 2 can grab this, which he's not. Oh my, all 4 members of Optic Gaming contributing to securing that last cap, and if anything, if they were not able to put that one in, that was probably going to be a counter capture. But Optic Gaming doing a good job recognizing that as long as we overload this flag capture right now, we will go ahead and win this game. The kills pretty even across the board. It was Optic Gaming outslaying Allegiance, but not by all that much, and not any individual player really shining or falling behind.
Definitely, and that was a really nice flank for Contra. Just felt like he was a little too slow to push in for that flag, but we did see some really solid things for Allegiance, and you can't feel too bad for a couple of the plays that you did. I mean, they had an amazing return that they shouldn't have got. Very rarely do you see Optic Gaming with all 4 dead end players spawning in the carbine not secure a capture, so they were doing again, a couple of things right. It's just they're very outmatched in terms of the objective games, and that's what we're seeing here. So now we're going to a Strongholds game type, which suits them pretty well, and then we've seen them do some solid work in the Slayer game. So again, it comes down to the beginning strategy. If you're Optic Gaming and you end up getting all 4 dead for Allegiance, you're just going to completely steamroll this game. You're going to get that overshield, you're going to get the saw, you're going to get the pit. It's going to be pretty much free. So Allegiance, they're going to have to do something to throw these guys off to start the game.
I mean, Royal 2's having a really good day today. His shot's on fire. He's been putting up some stats. Frosty, we always know what to expect from Frosty, and that's going to be some amazing stats and crazy amounts of damage coming out from that player, especially his map movements and rotations are the best in the entire league, and I stand by that statement. But like we said, game number 4, Strongholds on Empire. We do have Optic Gaming in that 2-1 lead, and I'm looking to start this off with Frosty, see what he does, as I was really impressed once again, as I am always, with what he was doing there on Truth.
Definitely. So I want to see if Contra's going to fly out the window too, because he's done that before, and that's where he would have met Frosty. But it looks like they sent everybody outside right now, and then Frosty's strategy is to charge right into the enemy base and capture the side base. So are they going to be able to double cap this, or what's going to happen? It looks like Straight 6 going to fly in there. Royal 2 is going to come in with the saw. Not sure what happened with the overshield, but Allegiance should have been able to get the overshields as they sent multiple players outside, which means they're going to get the pit. So that's the start, actually, that Allegiance needed.
Yeah, I mean, it worked out in Allegiance's favor, but what was the first thing I said? Frosty's map movement and rotations is what impresses me the most, and he just flies across the map and secures the opposing team's stronghold. And I don't know if I've ever seen another player actually do that and find success on it.
No, but it wasn't very successful to start. I mean, he did stay alive. I feel like if he died, that play would have been virtually useless. And all in all, the big point is that Allegiance was able to capture the pit. And Optic Gaming was very close just now, but you had multiple bodies coming in for Allegiance to make sure that they could control that area. The hardest part, though, was capturing the side base, which was red, and Allegiance finally did that, and then have the pit control as well. So we're starting to see them rack up a couple points here. As that is happening, we have a 3-on-1 situation for Optic, which is going to spell the pit and a possible disaster here for Allegiance.
Yeah, I mean, even with that beginning strategy, it still took Allegiance over a minute to secure one of the side bases, and as quickly as they were able to do that, Control went back over to Optic. Now Allegiance did answer back briefly, but once again, time starting to be accumulated by Optic Gaming here, so they're just showing that even though that start went over in favor of Allegiance, Optic Gaming is not scared of backing down at any time, and no, as long as we play our game, our best is better than your best.
Yeah, that's true. So here goes Lethal making his way over towards security, gets shot down pretty quickly. Very rarely do you see players stay alive for a long time or going on any fantastic sprees in this game type unless they get the saw or get the overshield. Previously, you did have, I believe, shotgun or scatter shot. I think it was the scatter shot that was sitting down there on the bottom of the ramp, and that was my jam. I would always like to sit over there and just camp it out with the scatter shot while everyone ran around with their automatic weapons. I would just be like, all right, whatever, that's fine. I'm just going to give you the one-shot kill to the face. But nice job by Allegiance. They have side bases and the overshield. They need to use this, though, Kyle, to capture the pit, and it looks like that's what they're doing. Yeah,
I mean, I'm liking what we're seeing here out of Allegiance. They're not going to back down without a fight against this Optic squad. Looking at a triple cap here now. Red base is going to go over in favor of Optic, as you did have a double cap coming out from Royal 2 and Snakebite, the core duo here from this squad. Great flank coming in from Straight 6 as they're able to secure both these kills. That's going to be a triple cap going back in their favor, but at the very same time, they are losing blue base here.
They'll take it, though. That's a fine trade because Optic Gaming, you're not going to be able to control a triple cap against them for the rest of the game. It's going to be very difficult to do that. What you're going to have to do is just take what's given to you. When Optic Gaming thinks that they're taking a stronghold, just take the other one right from them, and just make sure, as long as you are trading these side bases, that whatever you do, you're always controlling and contesting the pit. So here we have a nice contest coming in for Rami, picking up 2 kills and then taking another player down to no shields, while also making the other player leave his position and creating a kill for his teammates. So fantastic job by Rami.
And he almost had an overkill there. He picked up that double kill. There was another player, Roll 2, who was one shot that ran into top tower, and then he did fight Lethal and secure the kill there. So it was almost amazing stuff coming out of Rami, but Lethal answers back with a great Splinter Nade, completely shut off that angle as Royal 2 also grabs a kill. Allegiance doing everything they can, but they're not able to really pick up any big chunks of time. Although I would say they are the ones essentially playing this map better at this current moment. As you can see, the kills are also in their favor.
They are in a big time in this game for both teams. It's going to be probably the second to last overshield dropping in the next 15 to 20 seconds. So expect to see players rotating outside. And if Optic Gaming controls the pit and blue base, they should be in prime position, but it looks like Royal 2 got caught out a little bit trying to survive around the fan and then drops. That's a big death for him. However, Snakebite making up for it with some awesome cover fire over here towards blue outside. Is he gonna be able to get that overshield? He does pick it up at 7:39 and doesn't burn it. Devin not getting any help from his teammates outside. Fantastic job by Snakebite and Optic Gaming.
Yeah, I mean, it was lucky for Allegiance that they were still holding control at that time, and that overshield went over in their favor. Pit does go quickly over to Optic as they're starting to close this gap now. Snakebite still has a good amount of this overshield left as he is charging 2 players over by Ben. Goes ahead and secures the kill on Contra. Another player was taking no shields. Tower control now back in favor of Allegiance as they're starting to put some pressure here on Pit, but they don't know Snakebite is hiding down here with that overshield. It looks like, oh wow, and they did not come out ahead. Actually, no, they still might come out ahead as the last 2 members of Optic Gaming still collapse here on bottom mid Pit. That's a double kill for Frosty as he's quickly pushing in on a Predominator here for that triple kill potentially. And wow, not even a trade coming out. Frosty's just too quick.
See, my jump melees never kill people like that. Every time I jump in melee, I get destroyed.
Every time I jump melee, I just ground pound in the air and don't even hit anybody. So
Frosty knows the secret, man. Teach us the secret, Frosty. We're gonna ask him. We're gonna get a Frosty interview.
Yeah,
and ask
we need
him,
another one of those.
How do you win jump melee battles against players that are standing is the question. But either way, I gotta give props to Rami. He's came in here and he's held his own. He's played very well, and he's on a 3s-up squad that is currently sitting #1 in the Legendary Cup points. So this is a good opportunity, as you see Rami rampaging, #HCS coming in from Mids Elementary. This isn't an easy thing to do, to come in and just say, all right, time to play against the best or one of the best teams here in Halo. Are you ready? And he's ready. He's answered the call.
And if you just notice from Rami's point of view, Lethal flew out from below Tower 1 to assist his teammate, no shields, and had perfect positioning as he rotated all around, and was a distraction not only for Allegiance, but creating a bunch of additional damage output here for Optic Gaming. So it kind of shows you how good these players are. Lethal recognizing that he is in an opportunity or in a position where you can jump out no shields and assist your teammates, and that's something you don't see a whole lot of players do, and that's why Optic Gaming's teamwork is so good.
Snakebite is the huge difference maker in here. He's looking for a triple kill, but no, ends up just picking up 2 individual kills instead. Going for the pit reset, and that's 2 overshields in a row for PJ. That's pretty much the big swing in the game. I feel like if Allegiance had those 2 overshields, this game would be on the closing seconds here. And instead, it's Optic Gaming with a phenomenal comeback so far. And Allegiance looks a little bit too spread out right now, a little bit too flustered. They need to start getting focused, and they need to take Snakebite down because this guy's just running around the map doing whatever he wants.
Yeah, I mean, as good as Allegiance has been playing this entire time, they weren't able to rack up big enough chunks to maintain a solid lead here against Optic. Now that Optic has found their footing, and they have Allegiance on, type of a spawn cycle here. As you can see, all 4 members are over here at blue base. That's just not enough. It just shows you how effective Optic is on controlling setups.
Yeah, let's take a look at the stats, Kyle. I want to see who is stepping it up individually. And look at that, it's Frosty dropping the 20 bomb. Looking extremely strong so far, which is crazy because we sit there and watch Snakebite's point of view, and you would think that Snakebite would have the most kills in the game, but that's what's so scary about this Optic Gaming team. Individually, they're just so skilled and so talented. And here comes a good push from Allegiance. They only have 1 or 2 left. As you can see, 10 points before Optic Gaming is going to lock this series down. But it looks like that is going to be shut down as you have multiple players spawning over in security. And yeah, that's going to be it as you have Lethal pushing on towards this pit for the reset. Meanwhile, you have a triple cap going in on the base behind him. So it should be game, and it should be series here for Optic Gaming against Allegiance.
Yeah, game, set, match here. We'll go ahead and take a quick look at the stats as soon as this ends. That kill is not going to count there for that Optic Gaming member, but look at these things. Frosty, 20 kills. And, one of the reasons we see so many captures here in Empire Strongholds than we do in any other map is because teams just trade bases constantly. That is the meta of the game and how it is played. And the biggest story here, some of those, besides outslaying them, is those secures, as you've got 5 coming out of Snakebite for a total of 15 here for Optic, as opposed to only 4 total for Allegiance. So you have Snakebite and Lethal with more secures than the entire squad of Allegiance.
Yeah, that's an impressive stat, and love the way that Snakebite was playing that one. He filled every single position that was needed on the team, and didn't notice Snakebite rocking that CLG skin.
Yeah, doing, yeah, that's actually, I didn't notice that too. I always notice Spartan, especially a couple other players, every time they play against Optic Gaming, they are always busting out those CLG skins. I know Ace does that a lot too, but anyway, taking a look at the scores here from this first series, and that was a 3-1 going in favor of Optic Gaming. Allegiance doing a great job. Plaza Slayer, definitely don't want to match up against these guys on that game type, especially when Rami's on the team, but not going to be enough as they're not able to close out that series or even send it to a Game 5 here today. And now we've got Optic Gaming one step closer to trying to secure or take over that #1 seed here from Team Envious.
That's true, but one of the things to take away from this series, if you are, another team watching, or if you are Allegiance, that they played Plaza Slayer very well against Optic Gaming. So I'm curious to see if we do get a winner view. I want to ask, did they kind of let up a little bit after game #1? Sometimes that can happen where you play the same map twice in a row and you dominated so hard, 100-10, where you're not as intense as you should have been. And then next thing you know, the game gets a little snowballed out of control. So really no excuses there, but maybe a really great performance there from just Allegiance on that game type.
Yeah, and we do have a winner view coming up. We've got Snakebite joining us here from the winning team, Optic Gaming. Now, it is going to be just audio, no video here for this one. So Snakebite, he is not frozen or anything like that. That is just a picture. Snakebite, how you doing after that win?
I'm good, guys. How you guys doing?
Doing good. So fantastic game for you at the end there. I was expecting to have you, having most kills there, 19 to Frosty's 20. How does it feel to obviously be on a team where you can just play even, average, and you still have such talent surrounding you that anything could happen and you guys can win any game?
Oh, it's great, man. We say it after every single event, especially when we're talking about on Twitter and stuff. I specifically am so fortunate. I believe I have 3 of the best teammates in the game on my team. Every single event, I feel like they remind people how good they really are, even though sometimes we can struggle online a little bit. So definitely just fortunate where if one of us is slacking, or just not even slacking, just having a little bit of a rough game because sometimes things don't go your way, there's always someone there to pick it up.
And tell us a little bit about game #2. Obviously, you guys had an amazing performance in game #1, 100-10 on Plaza Strongholds, and then just things ran away from you guys in the Plaza Slayer. Tell us a little bit about how that happened.
Honestly, I feel like we just kind of started trapping ourselves. We really didn't play our game. It wasn't like we were letting up or anything like that, but we had Sniper at loop there, kind of like where we want to be with the Sniper for the most part, rotating around a little bit. But we got really trapped in fighting for the weapons. We died with the loop, and I don't know whose perspective it is on, but we just kept sprint sliding into yard, fighting for loop control over and over again. I think it was literally 3 spawn cycles. And then once you kind of go through that and you're trading over and over again, and they just end up winning the battle, it's just a little bit demoralizing. Just got to practice it again, really tighten up on that game type specifically, and just go back to playing how we want to play.
Now, did you guys at any point let the game go? I know obviously it's never over till it's over. You can always have those comebacks, but for a team like you guys who know you're going to win most game types that you play in a series, is that something that you guys ever end up doing?
Probably not till it was like 45 kills or something like that. If it's still 40, we've had crazy comebacks before. Everybody's been a part of them. So we don't let a game go. But probably once they hit 45, 46, I don't know what we were at. But, even when they had 49, we were joking about making a comeback. So we don't specifically let a game go. But the intensity definitely lets up a little bit. If we started getting a good string of kills, we probably would have gone a little bit harder at the end. But overall, it's just, when a game is probably over. And we even started talking about our mistakes going into the next one.
One more question before we let you go, Snakebite. Now, you did just play against Allegiance, who I believe that loss is going to set them going into the relegations probably. I don't think it's mathematically confirmed yet, but I think that's what's going to pan out. Now, how do you feel this Allegiance team is going to do in the relegations, and who do you think is going to end up coming out to the relegations to make it into Burbank in the finals?
I think Allegiance is going to do great, man. They're a really good team. They've proven it, taking EG to game 5. multiple times they've had so many close games or game fives and all the above. You know, Contra and Devin specifically on LAN, I think are two of the better players from online to LAN. I think they'll do great at the event. I don't really know, like with the whole, I don't know with the AM teams who can really beat like a, you know, say if EG has to go or Allegiance has to go. It's just going to be who's better that day. But if I had to guess, I'd say both the teams in the Pro League are definitely heavily favored going into it.
Good deal. Well, Snakebyte, thank you so much for taking the time to join us. Congrats on the win. Enjoy your weekend here.
Hey, you guys, have a good night.
All right, Optic Gaming coming out, proving why they are arguably, or actually not arguably, why they are the best team in the league, and envious to try to argue or make a run for that name. Now, of course, we do want to hear from you at home, like we said at the top of the show. Make sure you do tweet at us using the hashtag HCS. You may even be able to get your tweet featured here on the stream. Tag ESL Halo or at HCS. And that does it for our very first match of the night. We will have 3 more matches in store, so don't go anywhere, and we'll be right back after this.